Yo, what up, friends? So, over the weekend was ExileCon. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you excited? How do you feel? It's just a couple of questions that I've been presented with, and the biggest and most important one that has been asked to me is, what do you think about the new Blight Node? I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Now, I watched the 3.22 reveal with everybody else, and I'm still in disbelief and shocked and shook that Blight's getting updates. Now, if you've watched my channel before, that you know that I'm a very big Blight guy. I love doing Blight, and Blight's been extremely successful for me. You might have seen this video where I talk about how I've farmed my Headhunter this league using Blight. Now, I think Blight is an absolutely fantastic mechanic. I love Sister Cassia. She's literally waifu. Please, for God's sake, don't ever tell her I did a video not on Blight ever, because she will find me and there will be tendrils in my bed, and God help me. But over the weekend, GGG presented us with this node. Now, this node is quite interesting. It's quite unique. And Chris said, if you want, now you can play tower defense inside of our maps and purely base everything you do on a tower defense mechanic. Now, for me, that's really exciting because I love tower defense and I love Blight, and that's pretty much why I do as much Blight as I do. It's my favorite mechanic in the game. Now, the idea that this node is a thing and I can really just do Blight all the time, I think there's a lot of very powerful things that we can do with this. Now, I'm not sure if this node will actually be good. That will be, held back until testing, but I have a couple of theories. I've looked at the Atlas passive tree, and I wanted to talk to you a bit about it today. Now, the node, it says that Blight monsters in your map take 75% less damage from players, but our towers deal 300% more damage. 300. That is a lot. That is an absolute ton of damage, and I personally am stoked out of my mind about that. Like, stoked out of my mind. I think that's going to be awesome. Do I think the node is going to be good all league? No. Do I think the node is going to be very strong day 1, day 2, day 3, and until you have gear? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, depending on 3.22 and depending on where the changes to maps fall and what div cards falls on maps, hopefully we get lucky again and we have a really good div card on a really good Blight map. This league we had Wastepool and Doctor, and I farmed a ton of Wastepool and Blight. Now, I think Blight early league is very good for 2 reasons. One, you accumulate a ton of Blighted maps. Blighted maps are very strong, and I make a lot of my personal currency in Blighted maps. And 2, Blight in maps is very, very good for a couple of reasons. 1, you build up small bubblegum currency. 2, you build up Blight maps to sell to me. And 3, you get Blighted jewelry, which gives you a lot of oils. I actually personally think that the best way to get silver and gold oil is to do Blight inside of maps. Now, normally there's not a whole lot of Blight farmers out there, and every time they watch these videos, I feel like the mob is going to kick down my door and demand I pull it down, because not a lot of you guys talk about it, and not a lot of you guys realize just how powerful it is. Now, on day 1, when you rush to maps and you rush to red maps and you're trying to do things, Blight can be very overwhelming in maps, but if you're able to take advantage of it very early, and I think this node might be able to do that for us, there's a world where we can actually profit greatly from this. Now, thanks to a couple of people in my Discord, which, by the way, you should join the Discord link down below, we were shown the new Atlas tree thanks to 2 things. 1, GGG and the reveal over ExileCon posted a picture, and hold on, it's a flash warning. GGG showed us this image over the weekend. And 2, thanks to the people at Reddit and in Discord, they have figured out where a lot of the nodes are and where a lot of the changes are. I know there's a lot of confusion on this map and a lot of things are pointed out, but currently we are only interested in the Blight mechanic, and we're only interested right now in the Blight node, and I wanted to showcase and talk about that node and my thoughts behind it. Now, looking at this map, we see there's a lot of interesting changes and things are a little weird. So I'm going to show you guys a pathing that I'm partially planning on taking, and we'll update once this tree is available and update it to the public. But right now we see, if you look at node 5 right here, according to this, should be our CASSIA'S Pride. So if we see node 5 right here connected to this cluster, and we have an idea of where this cluster is, and we look at this map, we can open up a POE planner and pretty much kind of plan out where we want to go and how we want to start our atlas. Now, to get into red maps and to move your way up the atlas, you're going to need map nodes, and you're going to want to take blight nodes early. The reason we're going to take blight nodes early is because, well, this new mechanic and this new node makes going into blight should be pretty simple. Now, if we take a map like Wastepool and we run a map, which I'll showcase at the end, and it's one lane and we have one tower or two towers, this new node giving us 300% tower damage combined with other nodes should make the blight fairly easy. Now, I know you see in my pathing here, I go straight up the middle, and I know the middle is a little bit altered, but depending on those middle nodes, we still might want to go straight up the middle. Now, I'd like to go towards the map higher chance for shaping of the mountains and shaping of the skies. I know those are moved over here, so we'll adjust our atlas tree accordingly when the new planner is updated. But essentially, I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what I'm theory crafting in terms of blight and running it with this new node. Now, if we take the shaping of the skies and shaping of the mountain node, that'll give us some map atlas progression that'll increase our maps going through white into yellow into red, and we'll take more map nodes along the way. But for me personally, what I did this league and what I plan on doing next league is I rushed blight. Now, until there's a large supply of sextants on the market, scarabs on the market, we're going to need more blight chance, and that's where these nodes come in. So we're going to take the fungal bloom node and give us that. But going up to here, and this is something I really wanted to point out that didn't dawn on me until earlier when I was researching this video, this entire cluster right here for sturdy construction says blight towers and their minions in your map deal 20% more damage. On top of another, blight monsters in your map take 8% increased damage, and then another 8% and another 8%. So we get 8, 16, 24% increased damage to monsters taken. We get an extra 20% blight tower damage, and then the CASSIA'S Pride. I almost call it CASSIA'S Revenge. She's definitely gonna be taking that revenge when she finds out there's like an expedition video coming. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh yeah. But we're gonna be dealing 320% increased damage. Now, note star, asterisk, star, star, period, star. This is all noting that none of these nodes change when the atlas tree comes out. And when the atlas tree comes out, there'll be an update to this video, but I just kind of wanted to talk about it. Now, if we talk about CASSIA'S Pride and we can get there really fast, you're talking about 30 points, maybe 40 points to get there. And you're talking about day one, no gear, rushing through the maps, playing, I don't know, RF, Toxic Rain, some KB minor that I know that one guy listening is talking about doing. Or, you know, we're going to pretend that, you know, Avenging Cascade didn't get nerfed and we're going to do Lightning Arrow with that weird new support gem and hope that's really good. You know, people are going to be rushing these things, and Blight is pretty good, but, you know, we're going to get baited by some cool stuff and we're going to do 0 damage. So we're really going to hope that these nodes really carry us. Now, if these nodes are as strong as I think they are, and they do carry as much as I think they will, then we'll be able to blast maps and just pretty much click Blight for free. Now, yeah, you can't speed through the Blight because, you know, you don't kill the mobs on your own. You got to wait for the towers. But if the towers are dealing 320% increased damage and mobs are taking 24% increased damage, that's pretty good. Now, talking about my pathing here, I know it's 30 points or roughly between 30 and 40 pathing pending on the new Atlas tree to get us that point we need for CASSIA'S Pride over here. We're really going to want to take CASSIA'S Pride first. The meat and potatoes to Blight and the meat and potatoes to blighting in maps comes down over here towards immune response. Now, immune response says Blight encounters in your map spawn 50% more non-unique monsters, and Blight monsters in your map spawn 100% faster. This is the big boy node. This is the node that makes Blight real juicy and real strong. This entire wheel, minus Spores in the Wind, is really good. We get Blight encounter chance. We get more monsters spawning. And then more monsters, and then more monsters, and then immune response. Now, this wheel is really good, and this wheel is really strong, but it's only really good and it's only really strong when your character is strong enough to be able to handle the influx of mobs that are coming out of the Blight nodes. Now, right off the bat, usually on day one, a lot of characters really aren't set up for that amount of swarming mobs coming in a straight line, not caring about anything that you do. So hopefully, with some testing, CASSIA'S Pride really covers us. And if that's the case, if we're talking about 40 points and we can come down here and grab this entire wheel, Oh, you thought you were making money in this league? Oh my God, we're gonna be making money. Now, I don't want to set in stone any kind of Atlas pathing because we don't have the new updated tree. And as soon as we get the updated tree and we see all the nodes, we'll definitely figure out a pathing for Blight. But if we can get Cassia's Pride, and I know I sound like a broken record, and then we can grab this entire node with immune response, I think we're in for a really good time. Now, normally I don't take these two bottom nodes here, but I wanted to point these out that these two bottom nodes say reduce the cost of building and upgrading towers by 20%. Now, this is 40% with two nodes. This is, more damage. And I wanted to say that these 2 points, a lot of people just overlook. But if we're playing tower defense and our entire plan is to have our towers do all the work, sometimes in blighted maps, or blight maps, in blight maps, or blight in map, blight. Hey, GGG, can we get like a cool term to talk about Cassie in a map instead of blighted maps and blight maps and blighted maps and blight and who is it, what's it? That'd be pretty cool. But these 2 nodes with Cassia's Pride are gonna pretty much put us over the top so that we can build towers and really not have to worry. Now, excuse my phone. The only downside that I see right now is that this node doesn't work in blighted maps. I would kill for this Cassia's Pride node to work in blighted maps. Like Bex, if you ever watch any of my videos, or Chris, if you're ever listening, please, one time, please update this node to work in blighted maps. And if you guys agree with me that this horse should work in blighted maps, we should like make a commotion and we should talk about this. So that's like a really good thing to like leave a comment like, yes, please, please vision us into blighted maps. Because the more people that want it and the more we reach for it, maybe we get lucky and maybe we can get it. And then if we can get it, maybe the expedition guys can get blown up big map thing chunk too in their maps. But I mean, we'll let the expedition guys fight for that. But I would love Cassia's Pride and blighted maps. Now, I know we mentioned basic pathing, and I wanted to talk about immune response, and I think immune response is really good, but don't forget there's epidemiology to give us more stuff and more rewards, and then just pretty much at this point, the world is our oyster, and we can just kind of go wherever we want with Blight. And by the time we're in red maps, 70-something points in, we're cruising, man. We're doing maps, we're getting blighted maps, towers are doing all the work, my gear sucks, I don't have to worry about anything, and we're getting oils. Now, oils day one aren't the big money maker, but blighted maps day one are the big money maker. And if I can guarantee that we can do a map with Cassia on it, and I can never lose a map, and I can kick those scarabs up to gilded real fast, and I can get a lot of bosses inside of my blighted maps, and I can get a lot of jewelry, we'll be making a lot of money real quick. Because the plan is to find a good map for Blight, have a single lane, force that lane to spawn nothing but Blight rewards, get 1 or 2 towers, pray we don't get overrun and our character's strong enough to do that. But now if we don't have to worry about our character in day one, I can take Cassia's Pride. Oh, I'm excited. Now, I don't think Cassia's Pride is going to be a node that we take for the entire duration of the league. I think Cassia's Pride is probably really good into your characters, really strong and really powerful. And when I mean really strong and really powerful, I mean like spectral shield throw levels of power, have a mage blood or have a headhunter, you're cruising, you're blowing up tier 16 red maps, eyes closed, not thinking. But until you get to that, this node might just carry you. This node might be the thing that saves your league and makes you a ton of currency. I know for me, I will be exploring Blight on 3.22. I'm really excited about Sanctum, but until I can make my Sanctum character, which is probably going to be Shockwave Totems, I'm going to be doing Blight. And that's what I do every league. I'm going to be doing Blight into my Headhunter, and I'm going to use my Headhunter to get a Mage Blood, and then once I have my Mage Blood, figure it out from there. Probably Shockwave Totems live in Sanctum forever. Cassie, I'm sorry if you're listening, but like, listen, me and Divinia, like, I'm sorry. Like, you can come, I'll bring you with us, love me forever. Yeah, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. Now, if Cassie's Pride gets updated to literally blighted maps, that node is going to be God tier the entire duration of the league, all day, every day, never think, never. Oh my God, dude. Can you imagine? Please, please, please add it to blighted maps. Please add it to blighted maps. Let me know what you guys think. Are you going to try Cassie's Pride? Are you excited for blighting again? I know I am. What are your plans for 3.22? I know we don't have patch notes yet, but I know we've seen a little bit. Are you excited? What about the TFT Auto Battler? How do you guys feel? Are you excited? Are you ready? Oh no, I'm AFK in game. Somebody's gonna yell at me. Anyways, I just wanted to get my thoughts out about CASSIA'S Pride. Like I said, I'm really excited about it. I can't wait for it to come out. And I look forward to updates and patch notes and Atlas updates. And oh, I can't. I'm so excited, man. I can't wait. For now, friends, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. If you made it to this far in the video, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Don't forget the subscribe button because it means a lot and it helps. It helps a whole lot. Like, don't forget, press it, do it, click it. But for now, friends, I'm going to get this video out to you guys and see you guys in the next one.